ever feel like you're racing against the clock? Like there's never enough time to do everything you want to do.
Yeah, I think we've all been there.
We have. Today we're diving deep into
Time management.
especially for beginners.
Yeah.
You know, those just starting out?
Yeah.
We're going to be exploring this article called Time Management for Beginners, Quick Start Tips.
Okay.
It was written by Joanne Gray, and it was published fairly recently on April 19th, 2024.
Okay, cool.
So get ready for some really practical tips.
Love it.
And we'll even take a peek into the psychology behind it all.
Okay.
Because mastering your time, it's not just about having a jam-packed schedule.
Right.
It can actually lead to a more balanced and fulfilling life.
It's fascinating how much time management is about well-being, not just productivity. Oh, tell me more about that. Think of it this way. Effective time management helps you reduce stress.
Okay?
And it also helps you make better decisions.
Makes sense.
It's like you're clearing the mental clutter
Yeah.
to make room for what truly matters.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So it's not about cramming more in.
Right.
It's about making space for what you actually want to do. Speaking of clearing clutter, the article tells a story about Sarah.
Oh,
She was this busy professional who was just constantly overwhelmed.
I know that feeling.
Right. But once she started using time management techniques, she found more balance. She was less stressed.
Good for her.
I know. And she even had more time for herself.
That's amazing. You know, Sarah's experience isn't unique. Studies have shown that feeling in control of your time reduces anxiety.
Interesting.
Instead of constantly reacting to whatever comes your way, you're proactively shaping your day,
Okay.
which has a huge psychological benefit.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But okay, let's be real.
Yeah.
Getting started with time management, it can feel overwhelming in itself.
It can.
So where do we even begin?
Well, the article emphasizes having a growth mindset,
Okay.
which I think is crucial. You're not going to become a time management master overnight.
Yeah, no kidding.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right? So true. It's definitely a journey.
It is.
And sometimes I stumble even after years of trying to get this right.
Yeah.
So it is reassuring that the article encourages us to be patient with ourselves
Yeah.
and to celebrate those small victories along the way.
Absolutely.
But how do we go from feeling overwhelmed to actually having a plan?
Well, it starts with honestly assessing where your time is actually going right now.
Okay.
And that means getting specific. The article mentions tools like time tracking apps
Oh, yeah.
and keeping a detailed time log. Have you ever tried those?
I've dabbled with time tracking apps.
Okay.
But honestly, sometimes they make me feel more stressed.
Really?
It's like being watched by my phone.
I hear you. It's about finding the right tool for your style.
Go.
Think of it less like surveillance and more like a fitness tracker.
Okay.
But for your time, you wouldn't know how to improve your fitness without understanding your current habits, right?
That's true.
It's the same with time. These tools provide data and insights, so you can see where you're actually spending your precious hours.
Okay, that's a helpful way to look at it.
Yeah.
So time tracking apps and logs give us the raw data.
Right.
What about actually figuring out how we want to spend our time?
That's where the prioritization matrix comes in.
Okay.
Specifically, the Eisenhower matrix.
Ooh, the Eisenhower matrix.
It helps you categorize tasks based on urgency and importance.
You know, I've heard of the Eisenhower matrix,
Yeah.
but I've never really understood how it works. Is this where we need to break out the whiteboard and start drawing quadrants?
It might help.
Okay.
But we can keep it simple for now. Basically, you divide your tasks into 4 boxes.
Okay.
Urgent and important. Important but not urgent. Urgent but not important.
Okay.
And neither urgent nor important.
Got it.
This helps you visually see what needs your immediate attention
Right.
versus what can be delegated or even eliminated.
Okay. So after analyzing our current time use and prioritizing tasks, then what?
Then comes the exciting part. Setting goals.
Goals.
And not just any goals.
Okay. The article emphasizes practical and achievable goals.
Gotcha.
Ones that are specific, broken down into smaller tasks, and have deadlines.
This is where I struggle.
Oh, really?
I have all these big, ambitious goals.
Yeah.
But they end up feeling so overwhelming that I get discouraged and don't even start.
That's incredibly common.
Is it?
And that's why breaking down those larger goals into smaller, more manageable steps is crucial.
Okay.
What feels overwhelming as a whole can suddenly feel doable when you break it down.
So instead of write a book,
Right.
it becomes write 1 chapter this week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that sense of accomplishment as you check off each step fuels your motivation to keep going.
I like that. Speaking of motivation, the article also talks about routine and structure.
Yes.
That sounds good in theory,
Yeah.
but I'm someone who thrives on spontaneity.
Okay.
Does routine mean I have to give up being flexible and fun?
That's a great question. The article isn't suggesting a rigid minute-by-minute schedule that stifles creativity.
Okay. Routine is more about creating a framework for consistency.
Gotcha.
Think of it as a foundation, not a cage.
I like that.
It's about establishing some predictable elements in your day that help you stay grounded and focused while still allowing for flexibility and spontaneity.
So it's about finding that balance between structure and freedom.
Exactly.
But how do we actually build those routines in a way that works for us?
Yeah.
Well, the article outlines 8 specific time management techniques that are especially helpful for beginners.
Okay.
Maybe some of these can help us build those routines you were just talking about.
Yeah, let's dive into those.
Okay.
First one, prioritizing tasks.
Prioritize. Yeah.
Something we've already touched on.
Right.
It's all about identifying those must-do tasks and focusing your energy there.
You mentioned that even tackling 1 or 2 high-priority tasks each day is a win.
It is.
But what if everything feels important?
Right?
How do we decide what to prioritize when we're just starting out?
That's where connecting back to your goals is key. Ask yourself, which tasks will have the biggest impact on moving me towards my goals?
Okay.
Those are your top priorities.
That makes sense. So once we've prioritized,
Yeah.
the next step is to break those tasks down into smaller chunks.
Yeah.
Right? The article called this chunking.
Chunking, yes, makes daunting tasks feel more manageable.
Okay.
It's like climbing a mountain.
Okay.
Focusing on the summit can be overwhelming,
Right.
but breaking it down into smaller base camps along the way makes the journey feel possible.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Speaking of journeys, the article then talks about time blocking,
Yes?
which is all about allocating specific time blocks for different activities.
Yes.
Isn't that just scheduling?
It's similar, but time blocking is more intentional.
Okay.
Instead of just listing appointments,
Right.
you're proactively dedicating blocks of time for specific types of work.
Okay.
Even things like breaks or personal time.
Right.
This helps you visually see how your time is allocated
Yeah.
and ensures you're making space for what's important.
So if I know I'm most productive in the mornings,
Yeah,
I should block out that time for my most important tasks.
exactly. And if you know you tend to get distracted by social media in the afternoons,
Oh, yeah.
you might block off that time for something less demanding, like
Yeah.
answering emails or running errands.
That's a great tip. I'm definitely guilty of getting sucked into the social media vortex.
I hear that.
Which brings us to the next technique, minimizing distractions.
Oh, yes.
This one is crucial,
Absolutely.
especially in our hyper-connected world.
It is.
It's about consciously creating an environment
Yeah.
that supports focus and concentration.
Yes.
So turning off notifications,
Uh-huh.
closing unnecessary tabs,
Yes.
maybe even putting your phone in another room.
All of those.
Yeah,
It's about identifying your specific distractions
right.
and finding ways to minimize their impact.
Right.
Some people find that working in a coffee shop helps them focus,
that's-
while others need absolute silence.
That's
Experiment and see what works best for you.
And for those of us who struggle with staying focused for long periods,
Yes.
the article suggests trying the Pomodoro technique.
Oh, the Pomodoro technique.
I admit I've tried this one.
Okay.
And sometimes it works. And sometimes my cat thinks the timer means treat time.
That's hilarious. But it does highlight the importance of finding a workspace that minimizes those unexpected interruptions,
Yeah.
even the furry kind.
Even the furry kind.
But back to the Pomodoro technique.
Okay.
The idea is to work in 25-minute intervals
Okay.
with short breaks in between.
It's like a built-in reminder to step away from the screen.
Exactly.
Stretch and refresh before diving back in.
Yes.
What are some of the other techniques listed in the article?
Well, using a planner or digital calendar is a classic.
Oh, yeah.
But it's essential for a reason.
Right.
It helps you keep track of appointments, deadlines, and to-do all in one place.
I'd be lost without my calendar.
What?
But honestly, I mostly just use it for appointments and deadlines.
Yeah.
How can we use a calendar more proactively for time management?
Think of your calendar as a visual representation of your time.
Okay.
You can schedule blocks for focused work,
Right.
personal time errands,
Okay.
even meal prep. Seeing your commitments visually can help you identify potential conflicts
Yeah.
and make adjustments before you get overbooked.
That's a great way to put it. Seeing it all laid out makes it feel more real and manageable.
Exactly. And sometimes to manage our time effectively,
Right?
we have to learn to say no.
That's a tough one.
It is.
I'm a people pleaser, so I tend to overcommit.
Yeah.
But I know that every time I say yes to something, I'm essentially saying no to something else.
Because
Often my own priorities.
that's such an important realization. Saying no is about setting boundaries and protecting your time and energy.
Okay.
It's about prioritizing your own well-being and goals.
Any tips for politely saying no without feeling guilty or hurting people's feelings?
It's about being honest and direct,
Okay.
while also being respectful. You can say something like, I really appreciate you thinking of me,
Yeah.
but I'm already fully committed right now.
Okay.
I'd love to help in the future, though.
That's a great phrase.
Ah,
I'm going to practice that one.
good.
What's the final technique in the article? Reflect and refine.
Time management isn't a one-time fix. It's a journey of continuous improvement. Regularly review what's working, what's not,
Okay.
and be willing to adjust your approach.
That makes a lot of sense.
We're
Constantly evolving.
We are.
So our time management strategies need to evolve with us.
Precisely. What might have worked for you a year ago might not be as effective today.
True.
So be flexible, experiment,
Yeah.
and keep refining your approach to find what best supports you in this season of life.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground with these 8 techniques.
We have.
It's definitely given me a lot to think about.
Yeah.
The article also goes into time management tools and software,
Yes.
which feels like a whole other world to explore. Let's dive into that world next. So the article breaks these digital tools down into 3 main categories.
Yeah, 3 main categories.
Time tracking apps,
Uh-huh.
productivity software,
Right.
and AI and time management.
Oh, AI.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I know, right? We've already talked about time tracking apps.
We have.
So let's move on to productivity software.
Okay.
This is a broad category
It is.
that includes things like task management apps,
Yeah.
project management tools, and those trusty calendar applications we were just
The
discussing.
favorites.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about tools that help us stay organized.
Yes.
And on top of our to-dos and projects,
Exactly.
some of these have been game changers for me.
Really?
I've been using a task management app religiously,
Okay.
and it's really helped me wrangle all those little tasks that used to slip through the cracks.
I can see how those would be super helpful. And the great thing about these tools is that they often integrate with each other.
Oh, that's so helpful.
It is. For example, you can link your task management app to your calendar,
Right.
so you can see your deadlines visually alongside your other appointments.
Right.
It's like having a personal assistant keeping everything organized for you.
That level of integration is so helpful, especially when you're juggling multiple projects and deadlines.
It is.
It's easy to feel like things are spiraling out of control,
Yeah,
but having everything in one place can really bring a sense of calm.
absolutely. And for those who work on teams, project management tools are a lifesaver.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They help you streamline workflow, delegate tasks, and keep everyone on the same page,
Right.
which can significantly reduce miscommunications and delays.
So important.
Yeah,
It sounds like these productivity tools are all about creating a more seamless and efficient workflow.
they are.
But what about the third category, AI and time management? That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it? But it's becoming more and more of a reality. AI-powered tools are starting to emerge that can analyze your work patterns,
Oh.
provide personalized recommendations, and even automate certain tasks.
So instead of me trying to figure out the best way to schedule my day, an AI assistant could do it for me
Potentially, yes.
based on my habits and preferences.
Yeah, it's getting close.
Wow.
Imagine a virtual assistant that knows your deadlines,
Yeah.
understands your peak productivity times,
Right.
and can automatically block off focus time or schedule meetings
Okay.
to optimize your day.
That sounds like a dream, especially for someone like me who struggles with context switching.
Yeah, I hear that.
I could actually have a dedicated lunch break
Yes,
without having to mentally prepare to jump back into work mode immediately afterward.
exactly. AI can help create those much-needed buffers in our day.
Right.
So we can transition between tasks more smoothly.
I like that.
Some AI tools can even analyze your communication patterns
Yeah.
and suggest the best times to send emails or make calls
Oh,
to maximize your chances of a response.
that's incredibly helpful, especially in today's fast-paced work environment
It is.
where it feels like every minute counts.
But remember, even with all these incredible tools,
Right.
technology is only part of the equation.
Yeah.
We still need to develop those core time management skills,
Yep.
like prioritizing setting boundaries and minimizing distractions.
Right. Technology can enhance our efforts,
It can,
but it can't replace the need for intentionality and self-awareness.
for sure.
Ultimately, we're the ones in the driver's seat.
That's a great way to put it. We're in control of our time and how we choose to spend it. These tools can be powerful allies,
Yeah.
but they're most effective when we use them mindfully and intentionally.
So we've come to the end of our deep dive into time management.
We have.
We've explored the importance of this skill, unpacked practical techniques,
Yes.
and even peeped into the future with AI.
The future is now.
I know. It's exciting. What are some key takeaways that you hope our listeners will walk away with today?
Well, I hope they remember that effective time management is about more than just productivity. It's about creating a life that feels balanced and fulfilling.
Right.
A life that allows space for both work and play, for achievement and rest.
It's about aligning our time with our values and priorities
Yes.
and using it to create the life we truly want.
Exactly. It's a journey, not a destination. It's about progress, not perfection.
I like that.
And it's about finding what works best for you.
Right.
Your unique rhythms and your individual goals.
The article emphasizes that time is a resource we all have in equal measure.
We do.
How we choose to invest, it shapes our lives.
It does.
That's such a powerful reminder that we have the power to shape our days
We do.
and ultimately our lives through conscious time management.
Yeah. It's not about squeezing more tasks into our already busy schedules. It's
Yeah.
about making conscious choices about how we spend our time and energy.
So for our listeners who are feeling inspired and ready to embark on this journey, what's one piece of advice you would offer? Start small.
Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight.
Right.
Pick one or two techniques that resonate with you
Okay.
and start incorporating them into your daily routine.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's using a planner to map out your week
Yeah.
or committing to a 30-minute block of focused work each morning.
Small, consistent steps can lead to big changes over time.
They can.
And remember, celebrate those small victories along the way.
Absolutely.
Time is a precious gift,
It is.
and it's up to us to use it wisely.
Yes.
Now that you have these tools and strategies, what will you create with your time?
That's a good question.
And if you're eager to dive deeper into the topic, we'll include a link to Joanne Gray's full article in the show notes.
Perfect.
Remember, your journey to mastering time starts today.
It does.
Take it one step at a time and enjoy the process.
I love that.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into time management.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll catch you in our next episode where we'll explore another fascinating topic. Until then, make the most of your time.